Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Buffalo Futures Getting Ahead Podcast Season 2. It's your host, Nia Warren, and I'm here today with Madison Batson-Griggs. And we're finna get into it, y'all. We are here today to center youth voices and connect communities. So let's get into this conversation about our Youth Advisory Council. What a great way to welcome you back for Season 2. Stay tuned, and here we go.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So we're going to get right into it. I feel like a lot of people don't know what's been happening behind the scenes since like Season 1. So when we closed out on Season 1, it was kind of like an overview of everything that happened last year. And now we're in a completely new year, 2025, and we have almost a completely new youth council cohort. So if you don't mind, just introduce yourself, let them know your name, age, grade, stuff like that.
My name is Madison. I'm 16 years old. I go to my school. Okay.
You don't have to. That's personal.
I'm gonna do it for funsies. just for funsies. I do go to Olmsted. I love my school. That's a lie.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's it.
Nice. Great. Okay, so let's get right into it. So I do want to know, like, what was your first impression of Buffalo Futures? Like, how did you get connected? Like, what's your personal story with how you came to know about the Youth Advisory Council?
My first connection with Buffalo Futures actually when you messaged me and was talking about the interviews that we're going to do for their documentary, and I was very interested in that. Also, there was a stipend, so that was nice too. But I really did enjoy it there. Everyone was nice and welcoming, so I was like, hey, this is kind of nice. I like this job.
Yeah. The funny part about it, though, when you got invited to the documentary, it was like one of our favorite interviews because we were like, oh my gosh, like her answers were just so good. Like, we love what she was saying. Like, we have to like reach out to her to see if she could be a part of the youth council. So when I first invited you to come on to like talk about your experience in Buffalo as far as telling your story for the documentary, I did not know that, you would keep being involved as much as you did. But I'm glad that you actually did become a part of the Youth Advisory Council. When you first joined, were you like nervous? Did you have any like doubts about like what it would be like?
Yeah. When I first joined, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was very, very nervous. Cause I feel like when I'm in new spaces, I kind of just sit there and like observe the first couple of days, and everyone was like seemed to already like know each other, so I felt a little bit out of place. But now I'm fine. I know everybody, and it's great and it's fun. So
good. So like when you were nervous and you first joined, like what were some of like the things that happened, or like what kind of like helped you like ease your nerves? Like what made you feel like, okay, I'm comfortable being in this space now?
Realizing that everyone was kind of like open and nice. Like there was no one who was really like reserved or quiet. Everyone was having conversation. The topics that we were talking about, I was also interested in. So I felt like I can give my opinion freely and also be heard while having like a fun conversation. So I feel like that was also mainly the point and reason why I felt so comfortable to get out of my shell, I guess you could say. I'm not really in my shell. I'm always out of my shell.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's good. I feel like with the youth council, so like Buffalo Futures, we service youth 16 to 24. You already know this. But like our youth council is full of members that range from 16 to 24 too. And to some people, it's like, okay, like what commonalities would a 16-year-old have with like a 24-year-old?
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's a wide range of ages. Like, can you speak to like what that dynamic is like, being able to not only interact with people close to your age, but interact with people who are like graduating high school or like just started college? Like, what is that experience like for you?
Honestly, like at first I was thinking like, oh my gosh, there's so much older to be, but like not really.
Yeah.
I mean, now that I'm like talking to them and I'm realizing, hey, like we're watching the same TikToks. What I see is what you see. So it's like you're not that far away from me in like conversation wise. I can still have a conversation with you and not feel like you're dumbing things down for me or that it's a big distance. I feel like even though the age is different, I don't want to say mindset-wise, but mindset-wise, we're pretty similar. So I feel like it helps because you're at different stages in life and you can see, oh, you're going to college. What are you going to college for? You're doing this, that, or third. Or I'll do that when I go to college. This, that, like
yeah, you just kind of like exchange ideas and stuff like that.
My name is Michael Hunley. I'm a part of the Buffalo Futures Youth Council. It's a great opportunity to connect with others, different people in the community, and I'm here to encourage you guys to join the Youth Council. You can go to buffalofutures.com and connect with one of our success coaches to be a part. Thank you.
I feel like the 16-year-olds or the people like within that age range always have something to teach the older youth in our group, and the older youth always are like putting like the 16-year-olds like on game, like you ain't know about this, and it's like y'all are 5 years apart. But okay, go on.
Everyone's learning. So
whatever you feel like works best. So I feel like that's definitely like a difference there. And so one thing that we focused on like in the youth council so far is really making those connections along with planning our upcoming poetry slam. Yes. Shameless plug. But just making connections with like in the group and talking to you guys about what you need and what you feel. And so we've had a lot of conversations and a lot of surveys that have gone out to you guys already. And we've had a lot of people come in and talk about like where your interests really lie. Is there anything that you've learned about yourself or learned about like youth in general that you feel like you didn't know before joining the youth council?
Honestly, I feel like the youth council has just given me like a real life face-to-face experience with other like walks of life, because I can only speak on so much of how I live my life, and to see people who are my age and like tell me what they have to go through or what they do on a daily basis that I've never done in my entire life. Like, I didn't know that teenagers were outside taking the bus every day. I just started doing that, and it's like, wow, you're telling me this, and I didn't know that existed. So I feel like it's just different experiences. I just love that.
I feel like it does give you like a different perspective, because everybody on the youth council does have like a different walk of life, just like you said. Let's talk about the like bus thing though. You just started taking the bus?
So my parents are very, very strict, very strict. I didn't even get TikTok till I was 14 years old, and I'm 16. So I feel like I always feel so sheltered because I don't get to do anything. So I talk to friends of mine, people that I'm around, to get their experiences, and I love learning about that, because it's like I'm living my life through you now, where what you tell me is what I went through too. So I'll reference it like it's our life together, but I know it's not.
So living vicariously through somebody else. I get that. I get that. Has it been hard, like learning like the transportation system in Buffalo?
Yeah, at first I was following my friend around. We took the same bus, but then she moved. So I was like kind of nervous, because I was like, I don't actually know where to go. I was just following you. So seeing people on the bus is a little scary, because I don't know what to do socially. Like this guy, he took my book. He was like, I was reading my book on a bus, and he was like, "Oh, what are you reading?" And I didn't know what to say.
A random stranger?
A random stranger. And I was
let a random stranger take something out your hand?
I was like, "Oh, here you go." But he thought I was giving it to him, so he took the book out my hand, and he was reading the back of it, and then gave it back to me, and proceeds to rap about me and my book for the next 30 minutes.
You talking about rapping?
Rapping, like he was mumbling rapping, and I'm looking at him like, oh my gosh, is he gonna kidnap me? He didn't. He got off at Walgreens.
I don't think the mumbling rapper was gonna kidnap you, but I understand that. You know,
I didn't know what to do. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, you're obviously getting your footing as far as transportation, but that's something that we definitely help with at Buffalo Futures. Like, if you ever need, like, you know, advice on what routes to take or how to get there, we also provide, like, bus passes to our Youth Advisory Council, so if you ever need to get around more easily like that, we're here to assist you. I'm sure you know this already, though.
I do know this, but it's all right, though.
So we had Heather Oram come in earlier when we were first getting started with our youth council cohort, and she had a couple of questions for you guys just about like where you like to go, where would be a good place to talk to youth and things like that. And so I want to ask you, like, where do you feel like is a space where a lot of youth are, but they don't have a lot of like organizations like Buffalo Futures talking to them and letting them know about resources that they can use for the betterment of their future?
Honestly, like, Buffalo is so small, like, attraction-wise, the only places we have to go is Darien Lake or the mall, and then you get us at school. So I would say, like, school buildings and the mall are the main two places that you're going to find teenagers who are just roaming around looking for things to do. Because no one goes to the mall to shop. They go to either eat or watch a movie. So I feel like catching them in a space where they're just kind of walking around looking for something to do is a great opportunity to lead them in a positive direction.
Yeah. I feel like we're really trying to focus on that like mentor like aspect of the youth council, because like you said, when you have like that wide range of youth in a like intimate space. Like we get together every week almost, and
Every week, yeah.
you've been to our hub. Like it's not that big,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
like you
Like-
can't miss anybody there. And so I feel like when we go to places like schools or something like that, I've realized from like a staff point of view that sometimes youth aren't always like willing to come to like people that may not look like they're in their age range.
Yeah.
Do you think that's something that could help, like if youth were able to like go out and talk to other youth, or is it just because like they don't want to talk?
I'm gonna use the example of today where I saw you at my school and I was bringing all my friends over.
Mm-hmm.
I really do think that like youth bringing in other youth helps because
Yeah.
I know me personally, if I saw somebody who was way older than me or looked way older than me, be like, hey, come on over here. I would not come on over here. So I feel like having your friend explain it to you in like a teenage way before the adult explains it to you really could help kind of think it through.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a few friends who actually was thinking about like coming to Buffalo Futures, so I think that it helps a lot.
Great. Perfect. Yeah. So as far as like you, and now that you've been apart for so long, what ideas do you have about your own like personal and career goals? Like what do you want to be, or like do you have any ideas pertaining to that?
I do. Yes. I feel like once again, Buffalo Futures, it's a lot of people in the room, but like at the same time there's not. I've seen people doing different things with their lives, and everyone's coming together and being like, hey, I did this too, and I know this person, that person. So I personally, I want to be a museum curator. I want to go to college for a history and musical sciences degree, and also a little bit of an art degree too. And I feel like getting there would be easier if I have the connections that I can get from Buffalo Futures, because I know that a lot of you guys have connections to people who know people. So I think that would be helpful for me.
That's dope. I never knew that about you.
You know that?
Wow, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. Where'd you get the like museum like how did you
Oh my
get
gosh,
there?
can I tell you?
Yes.
Okay, so basically, I love art. I love music, I love science. So I needed a way to get all of that together, and I was looking up like careers. I was like, oh my gosh, what is museum curator? And basically, I love explaining this to people. Basically, a museum curator is somebody who does the research on history and the art like organization for museum exhibits, and I'd be making all of that, which I love. Also, my teacher and I, my history teacher and I, both share a love for records and like vinyls. And he has a college professor friend in New York City who offered for me to come to New York City and sit in on one of his college classes, and was saying that there's actually a course that I could teach or be a part of that had to do with music in general. So I was like, oh my gosh, all my favorite things in one course, one college. That sounds so great. Yeah.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm so excited to see that happen.
Yay.
Do you think like pursuing that career goal that you have now, do you feel like already as you're trying to pursue that, or even like in your school career now, like don't think about the future, have you faced any like challenges specifically because you are a youth and you have like goals that you want to attain?
Yeah. To be honest with you, most of like beginning of my high school career, I did not have anything going on for myself, and I was like, I feel so unbusy, and I feel like it's very easy to get trapped in like school culture, like, oh, who's doing this, who's going here, what drama is there, and it's like you have to think about how are you going to mold yourself in this controlled environment before you get out into the world. Because I'm realizing now, getting closer to graduation, I'm actually turning 17, 18, 19. I'm not going to be in school anymore. I have to drive myself around. I have to have my own house, apartment, all of that. And it gets scary because it's like you realize you have to start making plans for yourself. And that's a really, like, scary thing. But it could be an exciting thing at the same time, because you know you're going to have independence. You know you're going to have to be able to make your own decisions and do what you think and know is going to make you happy.
Yeah. Is that the resolve that you come to, like when you think about those barriers that you reach? Like what skills or like resources are you using to kind of like overcome that mindset or overcome those thoughts when it's like, oh my gosh, like I have to get all of this stuff done, or I have to, figure it out?
A lot of the barriers that I reach, no one really kind of understands it, because my parents, they're not old, but their mindset is like, oh, you're in high school, it's not that bad. it's that bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, it's that bad. And I have to do it myself. I have to have like mental resolve to decide myself, like, hey, do you want to sit here in bed and lay around for another 5 hours, or do you want to go to school and just get it over with? And every day I choose school. Sadly, sorry though.
Sometimes getting out the bed is just the win.
Yeah,
You pull yourself out the
enough for
bed.
me.
It's like, okay, I made my accomplishment
Yes.
goal for today, and that's about it. Do you feel like there's anything like in the city of Buffalo, like as an entirety? Do you feel like there's any improvements that can be made as far as like how youth are being accessed, or how like resources are getting to you so they can know what's available to them? Because I'm sure you're not the only youth that feel like, oh my God, like I'm so unbusy, like, and I don't even know where to start. Do you feel like there's something that, we as, professionals in the city of Buffalo can do to get that message out about what's available to the youth here?
When I think about that, I think about mainly just like spaces that you can get that message out quickly. And then I think my next thought is like Buffalo is so unequipped, because when I think about like, hey, where can teenagers go to not go to a party and maybe do something positive, nothing comes up in my mind. So I'm saying like probably Buffalo Futures could just like create spaces for teens to hang out and provide them like space and the tools to achieve their goals individually. I remember we were talking about in the one meeting, creating like a clubhouse kind of where everyone could do their own thing, like having a recording booth, having people come in and mentor kids for that, or having, I don't know, an art studio or something like that. Just having places they can come in and help themselves, basically.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I feel like even when I was a teenager, there wasn't a lot of like safe spaces for people my age to go. And that's hard here because it's like, dang, even when something starts to feel safe, and be like, oh,
like
that's a little scary.
Like same thing with like, yes, like they turn fun places into like fighting zones. Like for example, like what was it, Magic City, and like the same day it opened, all these teenagers was fighting there. That just like
Magic City is wild. It was called Fun City.
Why were you fighting a Fun City? Thank you. Point being, it wasn't fun.
It was not fun. It was dangerous. It was dangerous
crazy.
City.
And it's like I can't have nothing. It's like there's some kids who don't want to go out and fight random children they see on the street. Maybe I don't want to go and fight little Jimmy I met on the corner. Maybe I want to go and have fun at Starbucks or at Fun City. But I can't do that because it's like everyone is so like, oh, she did this, I'm going to do it too. You didn't stop and think, hey, maybe I don't want to do this. Maybe it's not a good idea for me personally.
Yeah. That's a good mindset. How do you feel like you're taking like, because I feel like you're a very like wise person and you're very mature. Like, how do you implement the things that not only you've been given like naturally, like you just have this like kind of like innate wisdom about yourself, but just what you've learned in your short time at Buffalo Futures? How do you implement those things into like your peers around you that may not be connected to the program, or like people that you just are connected to in your community?
I try every day to give my friends some wisdom. Do they listen? No, they don't. But it's just, I realized that if you want to go and act stupid, I can't make you not act stupid. Like, if you want to go and do something I told you was wrong, and then you come back to me and tell me it was wrong, I'm not going to laugh in your face out loud, but I might laugh in my head. I can only try to give you the wisdom and knowledge that I've experienced, because I have done stupid stuff. I have done things that were not the best decisions, and I don't want my friends to go through that, or my peers, just people I see sometimes, like, I don't talk to all the time. I feel like kindness is the virtue, and everyone should have it.
Yeah, that's dope. I feel the same way.
Thank you.
Do you ever feel like people see you as this wise person? And so like I feel like when I was younger, like people used to like say the same things about me, and then like they would kind of picture me as like this like ideal like role model, and it's like that's a heavy weight. Take it off, please. Do you ever feel like there's like things about you that you wish people knew to like kind of make you seem like more human to them? And if so, what is it?
When you said that, I thought of like at least 10 times I've been told that. Like my friends, when they talk about like doing dumb stuff, and I'm sitting there, minding my business, I'm like, oh, Maddy can't go do that because Maddy's a little holy girl. She's too wise for that. I'm like, hey, I think what you're doing is dumb, but you don't have to sit here and talk to me like I'm not here. And I wish that they, like, instead of judging me for knowing what's right and wrong, they also follow what I was doing and be like, hey, maybe she got a good point. Maybe she's not just sitting here being wise and judging us. I'm not going to judge you. I support you. I love you.
I feel like that's a, like, common misconception that people think, like, wisdom is, like, judgment. And it's like, no, I don't agree.
Yeah.
And that's completely fine to not agree.
To have an opinion.
Yeah. That's good. I definitely get that. Like, just feeling like I'm not judging you. I'm just not agreeing with your actions. And that's completely fine. Like, I'm still here to support you. I'm still here to be, like, a voice of reason. But that doesn't make me, like, a saint or anything like that.
It's like a mindset of, like, hey, she's doing it, so I'm going to do it, too. And my dad is from New York City, so he constantly is, like, yelling wisdom at me. He is not being violent. He's just yelling at me because I can't do nothing but yell. But he's always telling me, like, don't be a follower, be a leader. And I feel like that's been instilled into me as a person. So I actually enjoy going against the grain. Like, if you tell me to go right, I'm going to go left and laugh in your face when I do it. I just, at this point in my life, I'm like, hey, that seems fun to do the other thing because I know it's right.
Yeah. Just having a mind of your own. That's kind of like a rare occasion these days. Because I feel like, especially like with the social media influence.
Definitely.
Do you feel like social media and trends kind of like sway the minds of like people in your generation? It's kind of like, it's okay because I've seen it done on social media or I've seen it done by so many people. So I'm going to make what is not okay in my head.
I'm gonna gaslight myself and think it's okay.
Yes.
Very often, honestly, like, I do it with clothing. Like, if I like to dress like, I don't alternative, like Leary 2000Z, and I'll be like, hey, if she wore it, I could wear it too, because I don't use it as a reference. And I feel like people do that with their social media posts, and they'll be like, hey, since she did it, I'm gonna do it too, like I said before. But I'm like, maybe let's not do what this girl in Florida did in the middle of winter. Maybe let's not go outside like that. And it's like, they get mad at you when you tell them it's not a good idea. And then I feel like, hey, why are you mad at me? Because I told you not to do that. It's just, social media is such a strong power, and it's not being used for good. It's being used for evil in some instances. Yeah.
So, like, how do you keep, like, your integrity in those moments where, like, everybody's kind of doing, like, whatever the trend is? Like, how do you separate what's trendy from what's Maddy, or, like, what's true to yourself, what you know is right?
I feel like, honestly, first of all, I read my Bible every morning, every night. I gotta have some moral compass, first of all.
Amen.
Second of all, preach, sister. Preach, sister. Second of all, when it comes to, like, what's Maddy and what's not, I don't have a lot of friends. I was telling you today, I sit at lunch alone. My table was empty, bare, the whole block, because I don't feel comfortable, like, sitting with people who don't make me feel comfortable. If I have to change myself to talk to you or be friends with you, then that's not myself. That's what I made myself into, to talk to you. That's your Maddy, not my Maddy. Period. I'm sorry. I just had to, yeah. And I feel like my friends will get mad at me. They'll be like, oh my gosh, Madison, like, what are you doing? And I'm like, you look dumb. I'm not going to sit here. I can hear the voices talk about you. And I'm going to tell you what they say, but not about me, though, because I didn't do nothing wrong. And I just, it's just a lot. And I feel like social media is also telling you at the same time, not, like, don't listen to your friends who are telling you good. Like, and I feel like a lot of my friends gaslight themselves and they're doing the opposite thing. My friend told me a couple days ago, she did me so dirt. And I asked her, I just asked her why. And she was like, at first I knew it was wrong, but then I decided I don't care anymore. She said I threw caution to the wind and just did it anyways. I was like, oh, all right. And
wow.
And I walked out and I walked away and I just was like, you know what? Bless her soul. And I walked away. I just...
Okay, showing grace. Look at you, little Jesus.
Thank you. I just can't do it no more. I decided I've been a people pleaser. Dang. A people pleaser majority of my life. From, like, 5th grade to 8th grade is when I was like 10 different Maddies. And it was so tiring. And I realized, hey, my life is going terrible. But y'all life and your life going great because I'm helping you. I'm giving you stuff. I'm being there for you. Not once were they there for me. Give you a birthday gift. I get a penny in return. No.
Yeah.
Nope. Couldn't do it no more. But I'm so much happier now.
That's good. Congratulations.
Applause.
I love this, Maddy.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see the evolution.
I'm so happy for
It's
myself.
great. So, like, do you feel, who is, like, the most, like, influential people in your life, whether they be family or, like, people from, like, different community environments that you feel like have influenced, like, the way you think now, the way that you operate?
A lot of my family, but not big. I wouldn't say because they were trying to be nice and nurturing, mainly because they kept getting mad at me for doing what everyone else was doing. Because I was a person who would come home and I would be like, I know this was wrong, but I'm gonna tell my auntie anyways. And then she would cuss me out because I told her that I knew it was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? Maybe you're right. But also, I have a friend at school, and she is like my mom, my dad, my aunt in one person because she does not like my mess. Mm-hmm. When I tell her I do certain things and she knows it's wrong, she gets humbly frustrated at me, and she won't cut me off or get mad at me like crazy, but she tells me, hey, maybe you shouldn't have done that because I told you not to do that. And I think that also me, myself, and also Jesus are very influential roles in my life because I get lost in life sometimes, and I have to find a way to get back on track.
That's dope. So you have definitely that compass of, like, morality, but also, like, that foundation of accountability. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's a blessing that you have that, but there's a lot of other people that don't.
Yeah.
So do you have any advice for people who are looking to either find that accountability in somebody else and need, like, resources for that, or need to find that, like, sense of accountabilities for themselves, or that sense of integrity for themselves that need them to, like, help them really focus on what matters? Like, what would you say to those people that need that accountability in their lives?
I would say that there's no one in the world who doesn't have the Lord's voice or their voice telling them that what they're doing, if they know it's wrong, is wrong. You cannot tell me that someone is going out there, let's look at it, like going out there murdering people, and they not feel on the inside, hey, maybe I shouldn't have killed him. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. So I think that it's a mental choice that you decide, okay, I'm going to listen this time. And it feels good once you do. It takes discipline, and not everyone has that. But they do have that voice inside, and they have a decision to make.
Perfect. I love that answer.
Like, philosophical right now.
I love that.
Thank you.
Perfect. And while we in our philosophical bag, I have my last question for you.
Okay.
So if you could speak to Maddy 5-10 years from now, where do you think she is? What do you think she's doing? And what would you say to her?
I think Maddy, let's say 5 years, because I feel like 10's a little too far.
Okay, that's good.
I feel like Maddy 5 years from now has a small little apartment somewhere that's not Buffalo. It's pink, it's nice, it's cute. I have a little dog. I have my master's degree in musicology first, musical sciences. Then I'm going to be on my way to getting my history degree. I think I'm going to tell her that all the work she's doing now, every day she come home tired and want to sit there and lay out and sprawl, was worth it. And to keep going and getting there, because she can see the next 10 years and she knows it looks bright.
Awesome. Go future Maddy.
Yay.
So proud of you.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this episode of Buffalo Futures Getting Ahead Podcast, Season 2, y'all. This was amazing having you here today, and I want to thank Maddy for coming. This was awesome.
Thank you.
We love y'all so much. Thank you for lending your eyes and your ears, and we'll see you in the future. Ciao.